Most people think that the people in great shape are working incredibly hard to be there. But I'm telling you now, they ain't putting that much graft in. And do you know why? Because they have laid the correct foundations to be there in order to stay in great shape. And by the end of this video, you will understand how they have done that. Now, this is the final part of the 3-part series of how to get and stay in great shape. The final piece of the puzzle, if you will. Now, we have had burn, which is what it says on the tin. You burn the fat and you get in shape. We have had build, which is the key part to staying in shape. You build on the habits that you introduced in burn in order to keep the 5, 10, 15, 20 kilos off for whatever you lost. Now that leads me nicely into the last part, which is become. Now, become is all about doing those habits automatically. So let's touch back on the big 5. So the big 5 are the habits you will have hopefully introduced and built in order to get and stay in great shape. So we have started lifting some tin. We have started eating an 80-20 diet, managing calories, which we probably don't need to do as much anymore. We have worked on our sleep. When I say worked on our sleep, we've got the fuck off our phone at bedtime. We've wound down and we've gone to bed at a reasonable time. We've not stopped doing that because we've built on that habit and it just becomes something that we do. We are hydrating ourselves till our piss is relatively clear and we are moving throughout the day. We are getting our steps up, mate. So that is the big 5, right? And we use that and introduce that in the burn phase. We have now solidified that in the build phase. We have built those habits and now they have become automatic, right? You're no longer having to think, oh, should I go to the gym this week? Should I train this week? Should I go for my steps? You don't even think about it. You have become the person who just goes to the gym. You have become the person that walks and does some steps. You might park further away. You might be the person that's taking the steps. You have become the person who takes care of their sleep. You have become the person who fills up their water bottle in the morning and nails 2 to 3 litres of water throughout the day without having to think, shit, I haven't drunk any water today, because you're doing it automatically. And that is the key part to this, right? The people that are in great shape, they don't have to think about any of these things anymore. But it's because they've kept it super simple. For me, the reason that I have managed to stay relatively lean over the last 10 years and stayed in shape is because I have become the person that has done these things automatically. Now, that being said, and this is important, fitness, health does not have to become your whole personality, right? It hasn't become my whole personality. And I'm going to level with you. I don't really love going to the gym. I find it relatively boring. And when I get to about 45 minutes, I'm thinking about leaving the gym. However, we know 45 minutes an hour, you can get a decent session in. But I know that it is going to benefit me in years to come. So I go and do it. I don't even think about it. I don't go, I don't really enjoy the gym, so I'm not going to go this week. I'll just go and do it because it's become part of who I am. I get up every morning and I get my steps in because I take the dog out because it has become part of who I am. However, it isn't your whole personality, right? And people that are in great shape do not often make fitness their whole personality. We're not bodybuilders. We're not fucking bodybuilders. We're not talking about those guys, because they're the fucking guys that take their bloody meal prep to a family barbecue, and they do make fitness their whole personality. They tend to be pretty fucking boring, mate. Now, it's important that you don't make your whole personality, because you can still and go out and enjoy yourself, right? I'm going to give you a little scenario with myself. I'll show you a picture that I took of myself, I don't know, last week. I've got close to a six-pack, all right. I'm not completely shredded, but I'd call myself lean. Just after that, I went out and ordered one of the biggest pizzas you will have ever seen. All right, if you're watching this from America, it's probably a pretty standard size pizza for you guys. But we're in the UK, right? And you don't often get pizzas that big. Now, you might be thinking, how the fuck is he doing that and still staying in great shape? It's because 90% of the time, automatically, I look after the big five, which just allows me to go out and enjoy my life. Leads me on to my final point, right? When you become this person that takes care of the big five, becomes this person who takes care of their health, you stop becoming or being the person that starts again every Monday. You stop being that person that yo-yos up and down, because you're no longer on a diet. You're no longer trying to lose fat. You just stay where you are automatically, right? You can go on holidays, you can go for meals out, you can enjoy life, because you can just come back to the big five without thinking about it, and that is what keeps you in great shape. So the final recap: burn gets you in shape, builds those habits that keeps you there, to then become the person that does all this shit automatically. But all of those phases are going to take a little bit of work. You are going to have to work hard to lose the fat to start with. You are going to have to work hard to build those habits that are going to keep you in shape. And then when you get to the last stage of become, which is likely going to be maybe even a year down the line from when you start your journey, it might even be a couple of years, all of this stuff becomes so much easier. I don't have to think about any of that stuff, and I'm in pretty decent nick, mate. All right, so you are gonna become that healthy person. I know you are, if you stick to that 3-part framework. Repeat it back to me. That's right, you got it. Burn, build, become. Let's go, people. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to, whatever it is, subscribe. Is it subscribe? Like, subscribe. Then you're going to see the rest of my videos where I'm going to cover different topics within this 3-part framework. So we're going to cover bits in burn, we're going to cover bits in build, we're going to cover bits in become. I think my next video is going to be how to lose fat in burn with a busy fucking schedule. And I know you're fucking busy, so keep an eye out for that, please, shaggers.